looking across the land, we will talk about what happened here domestically with the United States men's national team and Diego Luna and the iconic image that was produced from that. But looking overseas, there was a very busy Champions League. A lot of Americans in action. There's also plenty to come at the weekend. But I just want to note that, Cameron Carter-Victor's, Austin Trusty, they were a little beleaguered, and we have not necessarily had glowing things to say with them at Celtic. But I think it is worth noting that they did contribute to a big win, Celtic winning 1-0. Versus Young Boys. Yunus Musa, the lone American for AC Milan, got the win over Girona. Tim Weah played 66 minutes. Weston McKennie only got 14. Kind of a mixed bag. Nothing too spectacular.
What
was
played.
Your main takeaway from
Pulisic played? That's the main takeaway. Pulisic played.
Did he?
Did he play a lot? No. Did he do anything that really helped Milan in that game? No, but he played. And that's quality. I mean, that's the step that we're talking about getting back to. He has to be healthy to be on the field. And there was some concern, like, hey, he's out again. Are we going to see Christian Pulisic miss long stretches of time? It's 15 minutes in a 1-0 game where Rafael Leao finds the winner. It's progress. And this round of the Champions League, it's all that really matters. And obviously we've got the final day of the Champions League coming up next week, where there will be 18 simultaneous kickoffs, and that's going to be crazy, and there's still so much to play for. Only I think Liverpool, Barcelona are locked into a top 8 spot at this point. Sure. We don't know if City's got Club Brugge at the Etihad. Should they be able? They should be able to handle that. They should be into the top 24. But to see them sitting in 25th right now is still stunning. And then you got PSG, who obviously beat City. Can they find a way to beat Stuttgart and be sure of their place? These are big clubs who are up against it in the Champions League.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible. We were all fearing the worst when Pulisic went down. So the fact that he's edging back into the team is pretty great. Just a bit of a contusion, nothing crazy. So maybe looking ahead at the weekend, Anthony Robinson, we've talked about him a few times. He is in the form of his career. Robinson, Jedi, and your Fulham are hosting Manchester United on the Sunday. United famously not on a good run of form. Fulham, they've been giving up some leads. What do you think of the Cottagers against the Devils?
Okay, so United beats Rangers with the Bruno Fernandes goal in added time after giving up the equalizer just before the 90-minute mark. And, that performance wasn't great. And there were more reasons for United fans to be calling for Amorim to go already. And then they find the winner. It's a great ball. It's a great goal. They find the winner, and now everything is right or better with the world. I don't think anybody is convinced that things have turned around completely. And it is, let's remember, it is Rangers. And I don't mean that as disrespect to Scottish football. I'm just saying that's not the level that you would measure a return to form for Manchester United by. I don't know that Fulham is necessarily that level either, although that's a solid mid-table team that can beat you on their day. I'm actually relatively confident that Fulham's going to get something out of this game, Rob. I am. Whatever happened in the Europa League yesterday, United is still a messy mess, and Fulham is not. And they have some issues recently. The giving up goals to West Ham was not fun, but there is still reason to think that Fulham can do something in this game, and Jedi Robinson will be a big part of that.
Do you miss Tim Ream being on your team?
Do I miss it? No, I don't think so. I mean, he had a good long run at Fulham. I don't need an American at Fulham to root for Fulham, to support Fulham. But it's nice. It is nice.
Yeah, Fulham sitting 3 points, 3 places, and 7 points ahead of Manchester United. That can't have happened too many times in any timeline. Alternate. I mean, especially this far into a season.
Famously, Amorim called this the worst Manchester United team of all time, and then said, well, actually, what I was talking about is I'm a bad manager. The players aren't the problem, because he probably walked into a dressing room and got some icy stares and realized, whoops, I may be damaging my credibility with my guys here, and I don't have much to begin with. They're not the worst Manchester United team of all time. Manchester United's history goes really, really deep. I just saw that Jonathan Wilson wrote up a story about in 1933, they went to the final day of the season to avoid relegation to the third division. So Ruben Amorim's team is not the worst Manchester United team of all time.
It doesn't bring me too much pleasure to hear commentators say that maybe United were only really good in two different eras, the Busby era and the Ferguson era, and they've been just, a standard Division One team for the most part outside of those two eras. I mean, it only brings me a little bit of pleasure hearing people talk about that.
All right.
Other Americans abroad to look forward to at the weekend. I'm enjoying Tyler Adams and Bournemouth's great form in the last few weeks, and Bournemouth having a great season. They are hosting an even hotter Nottingham Forest on Saturday. Talk about two teams overperforming. The Nottingham Forest, being in the top 3 or 4 has brought a lot of people, reminiscing of the Leicester run. But Tyler Adams, can he continue to stack up 90-minute performances? Or I know you've been like, whatever, let's just keep him healthy and all that. But it's been pretty nice to see him and like kind of get to know him on the field a little bit better, getting more performances, just like the mystery that is Tyler Adams.
No, but I think Iriello has done this perfectly. He reintegrated Tyler Adams poco a poco, little by little. He got a start, then he would rest, and then he would play, and then he would rest. I think Tyler Adams is 100% in ink on the team sheet for Bournemouth at this point. I think Iriello sees what he brings defensively, and if you're especially when you're playing against a team like Nottingham Forest, how does Nottingham Forest beat you, Robert? They defend and then they hit in the counter, or they use Chris Wood to find goals. So there's obviously a reason to play Adams in this game, to be that shield. So I expect him to play, and I expect him to play well, and I think this could be a big moment for Bournemouth, and it could start the slow decline of Forest's season. And I don't mean that I'm not rooting for them to do something. Like it's remarkable, and who wouldn't want the underdog to show up some of the big boys and have us and finish in the top 4 and have a Champions League season no one could have predicted. But I don't think Forest really has that staying power.
No? Well, we shall see. Still plenty of season left, and we shall check in to see how our Americans did abroad on